Hi, I'm Dr. Aseem Sharma, Chief Dermatologist from the Skin Saga Center for Dermatology in Mumbai. Today we'll speak to you about the basics of sunscreen. So SPF stands for Sun Protection Factor. It basically tells us how much of ultraviolet B or how much of one portion of sunlight is protected when you apply the sunscreen. If I go into details, the test of SPF or Sun Protection Factor involves applying a sunscreen and seeing when the skin becomes red. So that is how we measure SPF. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about radiation. So from the sunlight, you get ultraviolet rays which are UVA and UVB. UVC is blocked by the ozone layer. So as long as we have the ozone layer, we don't need sun protection against UVC. And then you have next segments which have visible light, which are all the colors that you can see. Then you have infrared rays on which our TV remotes used to work. So this is the spectrum of visible radiation with ultraviolet radiation which can damage the skin. So of these, UVA and UVB are the ones that we are talking about right now. UVA is a longer wavelength, UVB is shorter, which means in the skin, UVA can go up till the bottom, UVB stays on the top. UVA is the sun radiation which can cause pigmentation and aging, and UVB is the one which can cause burning, redness and skin cancers, which is why you need to protect against UVA and UVB. Okay, so when we talk about sun protection factor or SPF, we are trying to see UVB, which I told you about. When you talk about PA++ rating or a Boots rating, that tells you about UVA. So your sunscreen should have SPF and PA+++ rating. That will mean that it will protect you against UVA and UVB both. So a 4+ PA rather than a 3+ PA will give you more protection. Just like SPF 60 would give you more protection than 50, 50 will give you more protection than 30. So that's the number. So usually we tell people to look for sunscreens with an SPF of 50 and a PA minimum 3+. But if you have 4+, that is excellent. So if you look at the spectrum, all of these are graded as per wavelength. Wavelength means how deep the length, like what is the length of the wave that is coming from the sun. So UVA and UVB, let's say, is this much. Blue light is this much. Infrared is this much. It's even deeper. So all these deep seated rays have to be protected. The skin has to be protected from unnecessary radiation which goes deep, which is why you have this spectrum. So the difference between blue light, which is in the visible light spectrum, you can see it, right? Versus infrared, which is below red. So blue is here, infrared is here. Infrared is a longer wavelength than blue. So that's a great question. I always tell my patients to look at sunscreen labels, what is written behind the pack. If you have, for example, oily skin, then you should avoid cream-based sunscreens. You should always go for gels or water-based sunscreens. If you have a dry, sensitive skin type, then you should avoid gel-based sunscreens and go more for cream-based formulations. Also, things like fragrance, things like color in the sunscreen, these are two things which you should avoid. Also avoid any kind of preservative. So if your sunscreen has phthalates or parabens, other preservatives, these should be avoided. So on a sunscreen, first of all, look for SPF and PA++++. We already spoke about that. Also look for, fragrance-free written somewhere on the pack. That is one more important thing. The third important thing is look for labels which say non-comedogenic or for acne-prone skin or for oily skin types. That is the most important label which you need in today's day and age, because sunscreens, by virtue of how they are made, can block the pores if they are not made to be non-comedogenic. So thank you very much for listening in, and if there are any comments or any questions which you need answers to, please drop them in the comment section below. And this is it for now, and we'll meet you again in some time. Take care.